General Motors is considering shutting its Saab brand. That's according to people familiar with the situation. That's after Koenigsegg said it will terminate discussions to buy the Saab division from General Motors, leaving no other buyers in sight. Jeff Green is Bloomberg's Detroit bureau chief. He joins us now with the full story. Jeff, why did Koenigsegg take this action?
Well, they say there was delays, and they're apparently pointing to delay in funding allocations from Europe that made the deal untenable. It clearly caught everyone by surprise. Fritz Henderson was quoted in a statement saying that, they thought this deal was done. They thought they had everything put together, and they pulled out. So from what we can tell, based on the reconstruction so far, this was a funding issue in Europe that basically made the buyer reconsider what they should do.
Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Saab said that this transaction, they expected this would close at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, this was something that everyone thought was all over, but the signing. This was
right.
Not something expected to fall apart. So yeah, this is it's not really a setback for GM, depending, I guess, on the cost to close the dealerships. But the plan was one way or the other they're going to get rid of Saab. They had obviously been willing to let it go because it went into bankruptcy, the bankruptcy process in Sweden ahead of this sale.
What does this action mean for GM? Is this a body blow to GM?
At this point, it remains to be seen what the board decides to do. They've had 2 sales now completely fall through, basically because of no fault of their own. At least their partners have pulled out. But it does beg the question, what's going on here? That's being asked. So far, it doesn't look to be a pattern, but it's hard to tell. Depending on what the board decides next week, it could determine, where this goes from here.
Could directors opt to keep Saab?
Yeah, I mean, that is one possibility. The plan right now would be to wind it down if there was no buyer. This same board did decide to keep Opel rather than sell it, but that was a different situation. General Motors never really expressed much interest in getting rid of Opel. They were kind of forced into it by the government of Germany as a condition of keeping it alive. These are brands they just wanted to get rid of. They wanted to get rid of Saturn, they wanted to get rid of Saab, they wanted to get rid of Hummer, and they wanted to get rid of Pontiac, just get them off their books, off their lots, and not something they had to deal with anymore. And in this situation, obviously, they're going to go with Plan B unless the board overrules it.
Jeff, not a good run recently for brand sales, has it been?
No, these are brands that GM didn't want, and General Motors went bankrupt. So it does suggest these are not the most prized brands left on the planet.
And then we have GM backing out of that Opel sale to Magna. Penske Automotive withdrawing in September from a plan to buy Saturn. What's going on?
Yeah, basically these are deals that were put together when they were scrambling to go into bankruptcy, and now they're falling apart. These were obviously not good brands to begin with, or GM wouldn't want to basically shut them down or sell them.
Bloomberg's Detroit bureau chief Jeff Green joining us. Jeff, thanks so much.